What's going on there, guys? We back with another one. And look, we got to talk about this, man. Melo getting a lot of backlash. I'm going to show you the comments right here on the screen. A lot of fans aren't too pleased with Carmelo Anthony giving Stephen A. Smith that interview talking about LeBron James on the day. So, one of the things people said is, how you looking at one of your best friends getting talked about by someone in the media like Stephen A. Smith? Also, another user said LeBron threw you a lifeline with the Lakers when you was on your way out the league. And so now everybody's saying this whole NBA fraternity is phony and fake. Anybody will do anything for clicks. And I'm starting to think like when people get their podcasts, can you really call people your friend? Because they're gonna do what they can to get clicks. They want to secure these brand deals. A lot of these deals these podcasters are getting, streamers and podcasters in particular, they're getting is equivalent or more to a lot of what they made in their playing days. And so, do you just let the content go by? At what point is the content not enough? Especially if you made as much money as Carmelo Anthony during your playing career, at what point does integrity say, well, nah, that content ain't worth it? And will LeBron do that for him? Because a lot of people's pointing to this clip with LeBron doing it to Shannon Sharp with Antonio Brown. Let's check that out.
What are you willing to do to make money? How far are you willing to go? Like, I seen Jerry Rice doing, this shit hurt my
Popeye
soul.
shit?
Yeah, the Popeye shit.
Right? He had a helmet on
With a face mask.
but the middle of the face mask was a chicken wing that spun.
That's fun.
Most NFL guys, they do whatever. Like,
Why is that, though?
because I don't think they set themselves up for the career after. You look at all the greats. What are they doing now?
Yeah.
Even like Shannon Sharp, who be on
TV.
Yeah, this guy the biggest joke. It's like, bro, you gonna put the Hennessy in the backwoods up there?
I agree.
Then you finna criticize me? Like, bro, you a joke, so you setting a bad example. Then you hating on it, like, what are you really standing for? So it's like...
So, looking at this, man, I think people is trying to secure 80 million, $100 million deals. And these podcasters, they didn't lose their competitive streak just because they don't play anymore. He's looking at the engagement that Pivot's getting, and Melo wants in on some of that, because that all these metrics and things are something that you can show when it's time to renegotiate a deal, or when it's time for one of these betting companies to come in and acquire your property, or license it out. You want to make sure you have the numbers. And Stephen A. Smith has made that a hot topic again, that interaction and that exchange between him and LeBron James. So do you just let the other podcasters eat off of that, secure the bigger deal when it's their time, or do you compete with those numbers, and when you negotiate, you have numbers in the ballpark of some of these podcasts, So, and do you do that at the expense of your friends? See, that's the tricky thing. And I always look at these players, how critical they used to be of the media, and the media was working for networks, but now they have their own thing. And so I think Melo is looking at that like, look, this is my own IP, so I'm gonna get those views. And Melo could be looking at it like this, not making it an excuse for him, but Stephen A got all those views off me for so long. I'm in the podcast space now. Why can't we get views off of what he's saying about LeBron? It's not how I feel about him. It's just how he feels about him. But the other part of that too is, that's my man. However, you're not gonna ever be successful at that type of thing if you uh or getting in your personal feelings, right? You're not going to be able to excel in that lane, and who got business partners to think about too, who's working with them. So I don't know, man. That journalistic game, if you see somebody go in there, you're probably not going to be the best of friends anymore when they go into that, because they're going to have to take interviews with people you don't like, and it's going to look like when these things go viral that they're sitting with someone who's in opposition of you. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, because I don't know how close Melo and LeBron is now. I mean, I think some people look back and how they were when they were coming into the NBA, but a lot of life has happened since then. Yeah, they played together on the Lakers, but you know, Melo don't look at LeBron like everybody else look at him. I see a lot of the fans saying, he did his homie wrong. How can he sit with Stephen A. Smith? But Melo just see him as another ball player. Somebody who made a lot of money, a great ball player, but I mean, he was always a great ball player. It was like that. He see him as the kid he played against at St. Vincent St. Mary, and he was at Oak Hill, and that's just kind of how their relationship is. So everybody don't look at it like that. LeBron's podcast is a little bit different, especially the one he's doing with Steve Nash, because they're talking about basketball and they're talking about different narratives around the game. But the shop typically comes around during the off season. So we'll see, would it be in violation, if LeBron invited Lala on there and asked about the divorce from Melo? Would Melo feel some type of way about that? See, that's the thing when you open yourself up for certain things, then um, if we're doing content, you don't get to cross any lines and then try to draw other ones. If somebody feel like you crossed the line, then they can cross another line. You know what I'm saying? So that'd be my only thing with this whole thing. But I think at the end of the day, content is content. You got to get that. If not, then you might as well not be doing it. And I think that's why some people don't do it. Some people don't do it on a big level like this. Some of the podcasts I really like to watch is some of the older players. Like I like BJ Armstrong's podcast. I like people talking about the game of basketball and talking about those old stories and really talking about the game. Only thing is people just don't click on it. I see people come in the comment section saying these drama posts and all this, but y'all don't click on, and I ain't talking to everybody. I love the people that support. But the main people to be talking in the comment section, um, I did a video on the first MLB player that was passing. He was passing as a, a white man, but he was black, and barely 1,000 people watched it. So um, maybe if people click on positive content more, then people wouldn't resort to these tactics. But it does speak on their moral character that they do somewhat. You know what I'm saying? So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.